Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Another little good news story, because why not? And yes, it is still coronavirus related, as that is all that anybody can talk about at the moment, because hey, they don't want to talk too much about the Democratic candidates and how they're dropping out, and now the battle between Biden and Sanders, where Biden is saying all sorts of things, or he's not really saying things, and we're all a bit concerned for his mental health out of a sympathetic concern, as well as, is this really somebody you want leading the country? And then Sanders getting shot down, and they're just trying to say, oh, I like the Scandinavian countries. And then people are saying, well, the Scandinavian countries have said they're not doing what you said that they're doing, and they don't agree with you at all. And now they're trying to go back to a more free market, capitalistic way of working because they've run out of money, which leaves him speechless as well, which is brilliant. But hey, Leeds pupil sent home for selling hand sanitizer. And this plays into the wider thought that anytime there is a downturn or a negative impact on people, same as stock market crashes and the like, that there are always people who can make a profit from the bad time for others. That just because it's bad for some people doesn't mean that it's bad for everybody. Just like with 2008, the stock market crash, Warren Buffett said he didn't lose any money because he wasn't selling at the time. And just like if you have the real estate crash, well, you're not affected if you're not selling your home. It's the same kind of thing here, but even better. So this would be likened to somebody who's shorting stocks, essentially. Given that this Leeds pupil who was sent home selling hand sanitizer was seeing a concern for other people and thought, hey, I will help them out and I will profit as well. So I will use my thoughts of long-term planning and now profit from people who didn't think ahead and weren't willing to plan for the future. So I will be the squirrel that saved my acorns, essentially. And of course, no, you can't have that. You can't have people being rewarded for their long-term planning and delayed gratification, because we've got to have people spending all the time and not saving anything because, hey, stimulus for the economy, don't you know? And if people are saving, that means they're not spending. And if somebody then profits who's been saving and their investment is paid off, that's not okay. In which case, what kind of investments are you okay with? Because so-called price gouging is just a short-term investment. And that is what this chap was doing here. So they say a teenager was sent home from school after being caught selling shots of hand sanitizer to his fellow pupils at 50 pence a go. Yes. Shots of hand sanitizer. What a lad. So hey, you want to be clean? Well, let me help you be clean. Bear in mind, I've got limited stock, limited supply, so you're going to have to pay your way to make sure that I don't run out and that people can actually get it, because I'm rationing it based on price. The response by the school, oh, he's got to be sent home. It's like, well, why? Oh, he's clearly price gouging. It's like, well, can you provide the sanitizer? No, because it's all sold out. It's like, right. So he's actually providing it to people. So no, it should be free. He shouldn't be making a profit on this. So at what point is it okay to make a profit? When people don't need it. It's like, right, when the demand is really low. Yes, of course. So when people don't want it and they're not willing to spend on it anyway, it's like, yeah. It's like, well, then it's not worth creating the supply, is it? It's a simple supply and demand. It's economics 101. But no, that's not okay for some reason, because you've got to be seen to be helping the downtrodden, even if you're not sure who they are, and even if it's people who have made their own decisions to live life as they want. You can't have people being responsible for their own actions if it's going to leave them in a bad situation. You've got to always help them out and not let them see the consequences of their poor decisions for some reason. So, brilliant. Yes, let's just teach these children from a young age that any problem can be sorted by just having more intervention and more of the ruling class intervening. And hey, clearly a bigger government, as is simple to extrapolate from this situation, clearly the bigger government is a good thing to go for, because they can't be corrupt at all. No, they can't have anything in their own interests. That's never happened. Yes, we should all have just a drop of hand sanitizer, therefore everybody's equal, and it's completely ineffective. Perfect. So, His mother, Jenny Tompkins from Leeds, posted a picture of him arriving home earlier after his entrepreneurial exploits, thank you BBC, at Dixon's Unity Academy. In a post on Facebook, she said it was hard to discipline her son when his dad called to say he was a legend. Surely this is a great example of why you're having both parents is a good idea, because his dad was working at the time, so good on him, and then telling his son, hey, you're working as well. Well then, yeah, he's a legend. He didn't make much though, as says he plans to use the £9 he made to buy a kebab, she added. So, hey, multiculturalism, what's not to love? Some respondents to the post, which was shared nearly 130,000 times, praised his efforts. So jolly good going, there was hope yet. One said, can't fault his logic. Yeah, he understands supply and demand. Others reminisced about selling cigarettes for £1 a go, and at least this is legal. And someone else said, bet he gets an A in economics. Sorry to say, he probably wouldn't, bearing in mind that he has real-world experience and actually understands what works, and isn't concerned about theory and why communism is so popular at universities. So he probably won't get an A in economics for that, given who is marking it. But he will be responsible for paying those professors, so... His mother, however, said she tried to be serious when the school called, and later when her son arrived home with a big grin on his face. Well, of course. So you've been sent home, so why? Because you're making money. It's like, oh, I see. Brilliant. It's like at other schools which had a tuck shop, for want of a better word, some sort of sweet selling apparatus within the school, that if somebody else goes out and buys in bulk and then sells within the school, they're reprimanded. It's like, oh, you can't be selling that. You're undercutting the school tuck shop, and that pays for the teachers to have their biscuits in the staff room. It's like, yeah, but I'm giving the students a better price. I'm doing a better thing for the students. Saying, haha, no, you can't undercut us. So yeah, but I'm going around to where they are, so they don't have to go to the tuck shop, and I travel around, so I'm offering a better service at a lower price. Like, haha, no, because now you're undercutting, and we're going to establish this monopoly of the school tuck shop and not allow you to sell your biscuits. It's like, oh, right, well that's not a very useful lesson, other than just showing them why a bigger government is bad and price controls don't help anybody. So I suppose, well done, you're screwing over your students, who then have a better understanding of how economics works and why price controls are utter horseshit. So well done in that regards for teaching them something of which you're trying to teach them the opposite of. So again, congratulations to this entrepreneurial young chap. So she said, his mother this was made more difficult after she called his father at work, who responded by calling him a fucking legend. I mean, come on, we've all had that, surely. There'll be something which, because you're going to school and you're told a particular thing by the teachers, who are mainly women, and then also by your mum as well, and then your dad comes back and goes like, bloody good job, young chap. It's like, oh, you should have hit him more, you should have kicked him harder, that kind of thing. I'm sure we've all been through that at some point, that your dad will be there to actually be more honest and real world, not try and temper things and say, oh, what should be said about it, but no, actually just be honest, just be real, just say, hey, I understand exactly what you're feeling, I know why you did what you did, and your feelings were right, and this is actually applicable in the real world. And although they're trying to engineer some fantasy of their own idyllic regimes of which they are in charge and any dissenters will be silenced, the way things actually work in the real world and how people interact with each other, you did a good job. So, you're a fucking legend. So his mother added, as well as buying a kebab, her son used some of the cash to buy a multi-pack of Doritos. Sponsor? No one from the school was available for comment. Well, of course they weren't. They seeing that 130,000 shares, quite a few of which were positive, that BBC could only mention positive ones, they couldn't find any communists. Surely just go through your own office, BBC. Then, of course, the school didn't want to reply, because they'd realised that, if we actually let loose who was responsible for this decision, we'd be fucked. So, well done, you're actually showing some self-awareness. So then they just mentioned some more about the coronavirus. The number of confirmed cases has now reached 460. after the biggest rise in a single day. And you might be thinking, oh, what if I have the coronavirus? I want to get tested. Well, you're shit out of luck. Because don't you know, it's a National Health Service, therefore, although you're paying for it, you don't get a choice of how it's used. Because, hey, the government decides, and they know what's best, which is why the cases are increasing. So you might be thinking, okay, yeah, but I have the headaches, I have a cough, I have a temperature. I think I got coronavirus. I would like to get tested. After all, I'm paying for a health service, I might as well use it. And they would say, no, you can't. Unless you've travelled to a country which has it, or you've been in contact with somebody who has a confirmed case and not one that you think. So even if you've got those symptoms, just keep doing what you're doing until we find that one of those people actually is a confirmed case, at which point you'll have already been spreading the coronavirus, then you'll be a confirmed case, and we have to catch up with everybody else. So we're always playing catch up, and we're not allowing you to test yourself. So if you want a business idea, why don't you offer some coronavirus testing? Just say, hey, yeah, you want to get tested? Be 15 quid a time, 50 quid a time, 150 quid a time, whatever you want. And the idea being, we'll do your blood tests, we'll see if you've got coronavirus, and if you have, then obviously you're going to get time off work. So seeing as about 80% of people don't like their job, you might as well go for it, because you'll get 28 days off if you want. Because, hey, that's the longest time it's had incubation. You'll get at least 2 weeks off, so you might as well go ahead. So there's your idea for a business if you want. And 6 patients with coronavirus have died in hospitals in the UK. The latest was a man in his early 80s in Watford who had underlying health conditions. So, yes, more old people, people with underlying health conditions, people who aren't as healthy as they could be, essentially. So, yes, of course they're dying. They're bound to die of something. So basically, if you're already thinking you're going to be dying of cancer or coronary heart disease, and you die of coronavirus, it might be a few years sooner, but that's it. It's hardly a surprise that you are going to die soon anyway, just like from pneumonia. So, of course, we're not looking for anybody to die, but the reason that cancer and coronary heart disease are such large killers, proportionally speaking, is because there's not a lot you can die from anymore. So this is just evening it out a bit, even if it's only 6 people, of things that you can actually die from. So hey, until next time, keep up your entrepreneurial exploits, make the most of a bad situation, and you just might make something good. So until next time, have a good one.